Today we're going to discuss the advanced pressure sensitive buttons. So as some of you know, the PlayStation has 12 buttons that can be pressure sensitive. It's the only controller that Bliss-Box can work with that actually has real pressure sensitive buttons. Most of the other types out there are analog based. In case of something like a GameCube controller, which has the back buttons, these aren't really pressure sensitive buttons. These are mechanical buttons that have basically an analog kind of like this. Pressure sensitive buttons are literally buttons that have a technology in them that can sense the pressure that's being pushed on them. If you disassemble the controller, you can kind of see how that works. So with Bliss-Box, there is no way to receive those pressure sensitive data when dealing with a normal HID-based USB device. It just doesn't have support for such a thing. It does have support for axis. So you do have a main axis, a secondary axis, that's 2 each, and then in some cases you'll have the L and the R buttons that can use the Z axis, and then there are other controllers that will typically use the dial and the slider. So I figured with the PlayStation, let's use some of these pressure buttons for total towards our advantage. And when you press the X and the square, you can see that happening. Those buttons are invoking the dial and the slider. And the lower L and the R's are on the other 2 axes. So with the PlayStation controller, you can take advantage of 4 of those at once. Now with products like the Bridge, we can actually send all 12 pressure sensitivities onto a console, but with a normal HID, which is going to be Android or Mac or PC or whatnot, there's no permission for that. So we're kind of cheating by slipping that into the axes. That is controlled in the API tool here under the PSX button. So when you bring that up, there is a menu that pops up that shows exactly what we just saw. Incidentally, some emulators want to have these 2 axes in the middle, or it is very difficult to map. If you run into that situation, the recommendation is to disable those, and that can be done by setting those to none. If you set those 2 to none and hit apply, they stay in the middle. So pressing these L and R's have no effect. Of course, these 2 buttons still do. The reason for that is that those Z axes are actually supposed to rest in the middle. And some emulators are looking for that, and they think that the button's being pressed when they register as 0, not pressed, when you have it in this regular mode that we default to. If you wanted to restore everything back to the defaults, there's a button for that. Reset defaults. Once you hit that button, everything is restored and saved to the device, and you no longer will have the custom mappings or buttons configurations that you had made. That concludes our tutorial for the pressure sensitive buttons. Thanks for watching.